everybody. What's up? Welcome to the Monica Kelley Show, your go-to podcast for all things. And they say that I am what do you call me for Texarkana? Podcast voice of Texarkana, but y'all know I don't get into all of that. So anyway, I want you to grab your headphones if you're at work. If you're not at work, I'm so glad that you are tuning in with us today, and I want you to get ready to unlock the door to a world of possibilities. Today, I have a fine young man here in the studio with me, and let me tell you, he stepped up in this thing, and he is looking so dapper today. So I'm shocked. They really be coming for the Monica Kelley Show, and I like it because everybody looks so good. So without further ado, I want to introduce you all to my friend, my buddy that I met at, of course, Rosemary Lewis's birthday party. Rosemary know everybody, and so she know everybody, and now Monica knows everybody. So it's a good thing. But I met this young man. He walked in and he was like, "Hey, is anybody sitting here?" And I'm like, "No." And so he grabbed a seat. On the left was Dominique, who I had last week or the last time. And then on my right Dominique was on my right and Mr. Lance was on my left. So without further ado, I would like to introduce you all to Mr. Lance. He is a mortgage broker that is housed here per se in the DFW area, but I'm sure he can take care of you anywhere. Yeah. So I will let him introduce himself to you all, and then we'll jump right in. So what's up?
Monica, thank you so much for having me. Look, when I knew I was coming to the Monica Kelley Show, I had to step it up. All right.
You took it all the way.
I had to step it up. I put my bow tie on. Now, I don't wear bow ties every day. All right. But I had to put my bow tie on. And I said, look, usually when I'm at home, I'm working in my T-shirt and I'm working with my sweatpants on because I'm sitting at home behind my computer. But today I came to the Monica Kelley Show. And so it is such a pleasure to be here with you, Monica.
Thank you.
And I know with you being such a high performing real estate agent that it's important for me to show up, right? You invite me and I drop what I'm doing and I show up. So
I appreciate it.
Thank you for the opportunity.
And I want to say I appreciate you pivoting, however you want to say it. Yeah. Because a couple of times I'm like, hey, I need to move you here or I need to move you there or whatever the case is. And you were spot on and whatever you need, Monica, I got it. So I really do appreciate that.
Absolutely.
All right. So let's just kick it off a little bit. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I'm a mortgage broker. That's what I do. I do mortgages. I do commercial loans as well. Okay. And that's my life. But I will tell you, nothing comes before family, Monica.
I love it. I love it.
When I think about what I do, I'm a husband and I'm a father. Right. All right. And then everything else comes after that.
Absolutely.
After that. Because, work-life balance is critical, right, to what we do. And it's very hard to strike a balance. Yes. It is extremely hard to strike a balance in this business. Yes. So, when people say, what do you do? Of course, my job, what I do on a daily basis is a mortgage broker. Right. But nothing comes between husband and father.
I love it. And you know what? Let's talk about that a little bit because so many times people will get that twisted. They think I have to grind, hustle. But you got to remember that none of this is really possible without the people that are under the roof with you. We know it comes from above, but you have to have the support. And it's not worth you losing your family or jeopardizing time with your son or time with your wife or whatever the case is. Right. Because a client can wait because at the end of the day, they're going to make sure that they have that time for their family. So I really do appreciate you saying that. And to anybody that is out there that has a business, I want to stop for just a moment and tell you it is very important to make sure that you have time with your family and not only your family, but your friends. That's right. You need to make time for the people who were with you before it even started. You need to make time for the people that you have to go home to at the end of the day because it's going to make your life so much better. It's going to make your household so much better. So thank you so much for talking about that because that's key. That's very spot on. So let's talk about a little bit about life.
Okay. All right.
Life period. So when you were little, what did you want to be when you grow up?
So I grew up in Louisiana. And what I wanted to be when I grew up, I wanted to be a baseball player. Oh. I loved baseball as a young kid. Okay. And then it changed into basketball. Okay. Right. So I played basketball in school. But life took over, right? I was a knucklehead in school. I'm not even gonna lie to you, Monica. So, I don't believe it. I'm not. Look, don't let this bow tie fool you, okay? Don't let it fool you at all. So I was a knucklehead. I was always worried about the girls, worried about being Mr. Popular and all that kind of stuff. And so that kind of took over, and basketball fell on the back burner. All that other stuff fell on the back burner. So for a long time, I was confused. I was lost. Like, what do I want to do? I graduated high school, had no clue what I wanted to do. But as a young boy, again, sports was the big thing for me. This was before the online gaming days. Like I asked my son now, he's like, well, I want to be a gaming programmer. Like that's what I want to do. But back when we were young, right, it was all about sports. It was all about basketball and baseball. But, when I got out of high school, I went into computer programming. I thought I wanted to be a computer programmer. Okay. But I quickly learned that wasn't for me. Right. I'm more of a people person. I like to talk. I like to listen. I like to interact and all that. And the job description that was put in front of me was more like, you got to sit in this room, and sit in front of this computer and just program and, do all these things, which I'm sure is a very lucrative thing to do, but it just didn't fit my personality. But ultimately I became a loan officer.
Okay. Yep. So 2 questions. 1, let's talk about this. So when you had to pivot from computer programming, because you learned very quickly you didn't want to be basically boxed in, sitting at a desk, somebody telling you what to do and how to do it.
Yeah.
So talk to me about how you feel like that shaped you into the man that you are today.
Being a loan officer?
Just pivoting from, this is what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Well, let's back up.
Yeah.
This is what I was. This is where I was, and this is where I am now. So let's talk about that.
So interestingly, through my time in school as a computer programmer, I was also working in retail selling cell phones. All right. So I used to work for a really small regional company called Alltel Wireless in Louisiana.
Yes.
And so I was doing okay with that. This was right out of high school. And I found that I like to be a salesperson because even in high school, I used to work at Foot Locker, and that was part of my whole thing. Like people knew me for wearing shoes. I was, I was a sneakerhead.
All the girls stuff is coming from, because you working at the good place, the phone and the shoes. That's a must. Because let me tell you this: when I start looking at a man or dating a man, I don't even know how to put this. First thing I look at is your feet. I need to see what's going on with your footwork, because that tells me a whole lot. So
absolutely.
My
dad used to always say, if your shoes are clean and you smell good, somebody gonna want you.
Hey, I have to agree with your daddy on that. I gotta agree with him on that. Okay, go ahead.
So during that time, I found that selling was really something I liked to do. It was more about interacting with people, having fun with that. And one night, so I was working at Alltel Wireless, and they had these kiosks that they used to have in Walmart. And so we were able to work whenever we wanted to at the kiosk, just 24 hours a day, whatever. And so during this time, it was cool because I was like really young. I was able to make some money. I was still living at home, kind of talk to the girls, talk to people at work, have fun, all that kind of stuff. Well, one night at work, it was probably like 11 o'clock. I'm at the Alltel booth, just posted up, having fun. A friend of mine walks by. He's like, man, what are you doing in here at 11 o'clock selling cell phones? Like, what's going on? He's like, man, you need to come work with me. Right. He was working at Ameriquest Mortgage at the time. And so he got me an interview at Ameriquest, didn't get the job, but eventually he got his own position as a manager at Ameriquest, or at a different company called First and LC. So he hired me on. He's like, look, man, I don't even need to interview you. I know you got what it takes. Just come on, I'll train you. I'll just let you know how the mortgage business works.
Nice.
And so from there, I just learned everything I needed to know about home loans, about mortgages, and how it shaped me. I was still young at that time, Monica. So it was just like whatever would make me some money at that time, right? But I matured, right? I became a man in that business. I learned a lot about people, working with people, understanding people, what their reasons are for purchasing homes, refinancing homes, and all those things. So through all of that, I would say it has shaped me to be very understanding, to be a listener, to understand people are at different phases in life when you talk to them, and you have to be respectful of that. Right. And so many different things came about as a result of getting in the mortgage business, for sure.
Nice. I love it. So let's talk about 2 things. One, here we are talking about shoes, right? Well, I don't even have on shoes today because I ran out of the house and left all of my shoes, and I packed 5 pair of shoes, but I have my driving shoes on today. So I don't even have on shoes while I'm trying to judge somebody else's feet, right? All right. So 2, let's back up. Before I even made it to the Ray Hubbard Bridge, the day of Rosemary's party, before I made it to the Ray Hubbard Bridge, I had a text message or a phone call, I can't remember, from you. We didn't even exchange phone numbers.
Right.
So this leads me into, you are a true salesperson.
Oh,
you are a true people person. This man, I don't know what you did. I know that lenders can go and look at certain things.
Right.
But you was like, hey, you out there killing it in Texarkana. I mean, I've looked you up. I've looked at everything. How can we work together? And we've had I've referred a couple of clients to you. They're not quite ready yet. Right. That's okay.
Right.
Because we all know that every single client that come to us is not quite ready yet. So we have to work with them. We have to nurture them. We have to coach them to get them to where they need to be. So we talked a little bit about what inspired you to pursue your current career and how the journey basically unfolded for you. And you just happened to be, I'm going to say, in the right room. You was at the right place at the right time. So in your opinion, what are some of the key qualities or values that have helped you get to where you are, and how do you incorporate them in your daily life?
Man, just hard work, Monica. And I will tell you, hard work is a gift and a curse.
It is.
It is a gift and a curse.
Absolutely.
I will tell you that I'll kind of take you back to COVID, right?
Okay.
Because that was one of the highest peaks in my career, but it was one of the lowest points in my life. All right. And I'll tell you why. So during COVID, right, business was crazy.
Yeah.
Interest rates were 2% and 3%.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted to buy a house or refinance a house. Right. And so I literally got absorbed into the mortgage industry beyond what I'd ever believed. And I was working at a big bank at the time, but the opportunities were just, back to back to back.
Right.
Probably made more money than I ever made in my career during that time. So while I'm at the peak, I'm working hard. There were some days, Monica, I probably worked 20 hours.
I believe it.
20 hours. There were days I probably went to sleep for a couple hours, got right back up, went right back into it, But during all that success, I was neglecting my family.
Yes.
During all that success, I wasn't spending enough time with my wife. I wasn't spending enough time with my daughter, with my son. And so I started to notice things around my house. It's like, okay, I'm at the peak over here, but I'm at my ultimate low over here.
Yes.
And so I learned during that time, it's not all about the money.
It's
right.
not.
And we talk about grinding, right? We want to grind, we want to grind. But the true definition of grinding is basically whittling something down until it's no longer there. Right. When you grind a piece of wood, it's you're lowering that piece of wood's quality. Right. So basically, I learned during that time in business that it's not all about money, because if you're chasing money, if you're chasing success, you're going to get it. You are going to get the money. You're going to get the big house, the car, all the things that you want, you will get. But if you're not actually nurturing the things that are more important for you,
absolutely,
right, then you're going to lose what's the most important. And so you have to keep a good balance. And so I definitely learned that in this business, for sure. Work-life balance is critical. Hey, I'm not trying to preach like I'm the master of it now, because we know that this business will literally absorb you, right? But it's important to make sure that you keep those things as a priority when it comes to your family. And like you said, your friends as well. It's critical to what we do, for sure. So friends and family are the foundation.
Hey, I have to agree with you, because I'm telling you, in September, where you were, that's where I hit that wall in September. And I'm not saying that I was going to totally just quit. That's not what I was going to do, but I needed to get my mental together. I needed to make sure that my heart really was in the right place, because you get to going. And then all of a sudden you're just like, Tanisha and I talked. And she shared with me, hustle is a drug. And it is, because you get that hit and you on to the next, and then you get another hit and you on to the next. Well, I was just talking to my old man, and we were talking about, he said, you out here hustling? I said, no, I don't want to use the word hustling. He said, well, grinding. Well, now I'm gonna have to tell him we can't use grinding, because you just broke it down to me. You're right. It just pulls you on down. So I love it. I love it. And in COVID, we were all busy. Everyone was busy. Everyone was hustling. Everyone was working. They were trying to get things done. And then, I mean, you're right. If you go and you chase your money and you chase your career, you will get there. But what are you leaving behind?
That's right.
And I can really speak on that, because going through some things that I went through in life, I went from down to up, and then I got up there, and I'm like, well, then what happened? I lost all of this. I lost all of this to get here. Now I'm here, and I'm just looking around as an empty nester, as a divorced woman, like, okay, well, what do I do now? So I I'm glad you brought that up.
Like they say, it's lonely at the top.
It's lonely at the top. It is lonely at the top.
Yeah.
And I'm always telling people, see you at the top.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't understand how lonely it is. You have to learn how to separate yourself, and it will cost you friendships, relationships. It can cost you a couple of things.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
it should not cost you your family.
That's right.
So you need to, I mean, they were there when you didn't have anything.
That's right.
They were there when the electric may have gotten, disconnected, or the water, or car payments behind, or whatever the case is. Those are the people that know you the best. And so you have to take care of those people.
Yep.
All right. So let's talk a little bit about real estate.
Okay.
Cool. We got a whole lot taking place in the real estate industry right now. It's a lot. And I'm not going to touch it at all because I don't want to talk about it. But I do want to talk about what advice are you giving to agents right now in this current market?
Yeah, so I'm glad you asked that question, Monica, because one thing I've learned as mortgage brokers and as loan officers, they look at the relationship a lot of times as one-sided. They want to know what they can get from a real estate agent. Hey, do you have any leads for me today? Can you help me, get to my goal or whatever it might be?
Right.
But I think the biggest piece of advice that I can give even loan officers and real estate agents is to be an ally to each other. Right. It's all about collaboration. Right. And so when I talk to real estate agents, I want to understand what they're feeling. Right. I want to understand what they're thinking, because a lot of them are thinking some things. I've been surveying a lot of real estate agents. Thankfully, I have a lot of agents in my network. And so I'll just pick up the phone and call them. Hey, what do you think about this thing that's going on? We'll keep it unnamed for now.
Absolutely.
We know the big elephant in the room right now. Right. But what do you think about this thing that's going on, right? And the answers vary from, some of them have a strategy and how they're going to approach it. And others are like, man, I'm updating my resume. I'm ready to go back into corporate America because I can't deal with this. I can't take this. So I think the biggest thing for me is to understand that I need to be an ally to an agent, right? And understand how I can help them, not just with their buyers, but with the listings that they have as well. What are some things that I can do to market your listing, to help you understand what the monthly payments might be on that listing as well, create flyers and different advertising opportunities for your listings. Because at the end of the day, it's important for us to collaborate where it is necessary. Ultimately, the average loan officer is not thinking that way. They're just sitting back waiting for an agent to send them something. But it's all about allyship. And so that's my mission in 2024, to show agents that I'm definitely an ally in this business, not just a taker. Right.
I love it. I love it. All right. So let me ask you this question. How are you educating any buyers that are terrified of this almost normal interest rate? It's very close to being normal. So how are you educating them on how to buy now instead of waiting, outside of the number one thing that we always talk about, which is rent is 100%.
Right.
So let's talk a little bit about that.
So we talk about the cost of waiting, right? There is definitely a cost of waiting.
Right.
If you don't buy a house today, that same house is going to be more expensive when rates come down. But I also don't pressure people, Monica.
Absolutely.
I think it's important to educate them and not pressure them. Right. And so there's a difference between being a salesperson and a consultant. Right. And many times we have to advise a client against our own self-interest, because that shows that we have people's better interests in mind, right? And what they have going on in their life. So buying a house is an emotional decision. It's definitely a financial decision, right? We're going to make sure that you're ready. We're going to talk about your budget. We're going to talk about how much money you've saved, what your goals are in the future. All of the numbers will come together if they do. Right. But if you are not mentally and emotionally ready to buy a house, that's not something I need to convince you of.
Absolutely.
That's something that you need to soul search and think about. Have a conversation with your significant other or your family to determine if it's time to buy a house. Right. So I'm going to talk to them about the cost of waiting when interest rates come down, because that's the number one thing somebody will say. Well, man, Lance, I'm just going to wait till rates come down before I buy a house. I say, okay, well, let's look at the statistical data and determine if that's the best decision. Because if you are emotionally ready to buy a house and the numbers work for you as far as what you have in mind for your monthly payment, for how much you're ready to put down, then we probably need to move forward as opposed to waiting for interest rates to come down. And like they say, I mean, it's cliche at this point, but date the rate, marry the house. We know that interest rates are temporary. At a certain point, they're going to come down, and you should refinance. As long as the house is affordable at these 6.5%, 7% interest rates, then let's move forward with it.
Right. You know, I like that because I'm working with a lot of first-time home buyers, and I've changed up my strategy when working with my first-time home buyers. And so what I do is, say, for instance, they call me and they say, hey, Monica, I'm pre-qualified for $250,000. Cool. No problem. Okay, tell me, what are your goals? What do you have in mind? Okay, what do you want your average monthly payment to be? Or what do you give me? Like, are we looking between $1,100 to $1,500 a month? Or are we looking at, oh, I can go $1,500 to $1,800 a month? Okay, perfect. So then I'm talking, you know, everything is escrowed. A lot of people don't know what escrowed is. That's your taxes, your insurance, your principal, your interest, PMI, if it's there. All of that is included in one payment. There are so many people that do not realize that you have one mortgage payment and that's it. They think that they have to pay the $1,800 plus, you know, I have to pay my taxes or I have to pay all of this. So education is very key. But what I do with my buyers is, and I just did this past week with the new couple that I picked up. Tell me, what is your budget? We don't want to spend over, I think it was about $1,500 a month. Okay. So with $1,500 a month, but you're pre-qualified all the way up to this maximum, which is about $350,000. I'm just going to throw that number out there. That's $100,000 difference. So let's go look at Let's look at 3 houses. Let's look at one that's around 175. Let's look at one that's around 250. Let's look at one that's maybe 375, maybe closer to 300.
Right.
Even though your maximum is 350. Let's look at these 3 houses. Let's go back to the lender, figure out what our estimated payment is going to be, and then let's revisit. And so they were like, I'm so glad you did that, because I realized where I'm wanting to stay at $1,500 a month is not getting me where I want, what I want in a house. And so then we go to talk about wants and needs. Is you're likely not going to be here forever. So education is very, very key. And I'm going to look in the camera when I say this. Make sure that your real estate agent or your real estate professional and your lender have your best interest in mind, like you said, because there are people that can get you to jump out there. You're at your maximum. Now you can't go to Texas Roadhouse. Now you can't buy her the ring if you're not married, because you can't buy the ring. Now I can't go with my homeboys to go golf. And now I'm looking at my engineer. He's shaking his head. Now you can't go with your homegirls to brunch, which is something that you used to do all the time. So don't jump in a house and become house poor or house broke thinking that I'm going to spend my maximum. So I'm very glad that you said that. And I want to make sure that everyone knows. Make sure you talk to your agent. It's just a strategy that I picked up and say, hey, I want to look at 3 houses and 3 different price points. I want to know what this house has to offer me. And sometimes you can find a house for $165,000, $175,000 that meets your needs. Sometimes you can't. Myself personally, I had to go up. I'm thinking I'm going to find a house for this amount. This is what I had in my head. I got in the house and I was just like, this is not what I'm looking for. I'm going to have to spend more because this is what I'm accustomed to. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if you can hear me, make sure that your agent and your mortgage broker or your loan officer, or however you want to look at it, whatever terminology you want to come up with for that specific person, you make sure that they have your best interests in mind and encourage them to make sure that they walk you through the steps. They give you 3 different price points and you guys go back to the table and have a conversation about it. Because what you don't want is not to be able to participate in those extracurricular activities that you're used to participating in. So that was kind of long, but
no, but I'm with you.
I need for everybody to understand. Okay. So do sellers ever contact you for referrals? And if they do, tell me how you handle it.
So you mean home sellers or actual agents? Who
actual sellers. Okay. Your friend call, hey, Lance, I need to sell my house. Who do you recommend?
Oh, yes, absolutely. So I basically try to pair them with the right agent based on what their goals are. And personality type is a big deal.
I'm so glad you said that.
It's a big deal because I've had situations where people who have reached out to me to sell a home, I've connected them with an agent and they just did not mesh.
Absolutely.
They didn't have the right compatible personalities. And so the person just went MIA on the agent, stopped answering their phone calls. Right. And then that same person called me back later. Hey, Lance, do you have another agent that maybe you can connect me with? And I did. Right. But that was a lesson for me to understand that, hey, this is a personality thing. Right. This is not just the person who's capable, because most agents are capable of selling a house. Right. You showed the aptitude to get there. But if it's not the right personality type, if they're not analytical like the other person may be, or if they're just not, go like the other person may be, then it may not work. Right. So the two personalities must mesh. Yes. And so, yes, to answer your question, I do get those calls. Yes. And I make sure that I connect them with the right agent whose personality will be compatible with that seller. Right. Yeah, for sure.
I like that, because even as an agent myself, I've had some clients that our personalities just did not mix. Yeah. And that's even with other agents that you're working with. That's with anybody at the grocery store, you can go anywhere. And if the personalities do not match, then that can be a serious problem, because you're going to be working with this person for the next 30 plus days.
That's right.
And so everybody needs to be as comfortable as possible in this situation, because you're dealing with people's time and you're dealing with people's money. Yeah. So, and those two are two big factors in anybody's life, time and money. Yeah. So you want to make sure that everybody is as comfortable as possible. I've had some clients that I'm like, I don't think that we're going to work well together. I can refer you to another agent. I'm not even looking for a referral fee at this point. I just want to make sure that I do my due diligence with making sure that you're happy and your family is happy. Because if we're going to be doing all this back and forth, that's a lot of wasted time, space, and energy. Yeah. And energy is everything. So if I'm in a room and that room is off,
I'm out.
I got to chunk you the deuces, and I don't even like the deuces, right? But I got to move around, so, and same thing, if I'm dealing with certain people on the, in the real estate world, if I feel like our personalities don't match, then they just don't match. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's not that I'm not anybody's like friend, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it's not like I'm not your friend throughout the transaction. It's just that our personalities don't match. Yeah. And so you have to be very careful with that. So I'm very glad that you mentioned that. So now let's switch gears a little bit. Okay. And let's talk a little bit more about life. Okay. All right. So as a man, a successful man that is out here in the streets, got a beautiful wife, you have a handsome son, a beautiful daughter, 2 children, doing the thing, living the life. Have you ever hit a challenge where it's caused you to like, man, I need to talk to my boy about this, or I need to talk to somebody about this? How do you handle that?
Yeah, so friendship is critical, right? Obviously, my wife being my friend, my closest friend, she's going to know when I'm going through something. Absolutely. And sometimes I may not even need to say a word, right? She already knows, see it in me, because that's your woman. Yeah, she'll understand that. But sometimes you got to have that conversation with a friend of yours, right? A boy, right? One of my partners, right? So we'll have conversations, but life challenges come all the time, Monica. Yeah. And, I think the thing about it is success can be gauged differently. So you use that word success. And some people all the time, they try to correlate success with money. Right. Well, you're successful. You're making a lot of money. I think successful, being that I'm a family man, Monica, success is a happy home. Right. A balanced home. Right. Where your kids like who you are. Right. Where your partner likes who you are. Right. Because often we look at people and we're in the social media world now. Everything is, you look at somebody, they may dress nice, they may have a nice car, a nice house, and you're like, oh, that person's successful. Right. But if their home life is falling apart, right, they're not successful. And so I think that's important, that we all have to just align our understanding and our perspective of what success actually is. Right. And so success for me is having a firm foundation. Right. But there is always a challenge, especially in this business. There's always a challenge when you are a married person. Right. There's always a challenge when you are a parent. Yes. Right. So all of those things come up. And so there's going to be different people to talk to for different challenges. That's right. Right. But the man upstairs is the person that you talk to all the time. The most. Right. The absolutely. Most, right. The absolute most. But also, you just have to know maybe you have a person for one challenge that you might not talk to the same person about a different challenge.
Absolutely.
So I think having a firm foundation, a good set of friends, right, that you can go to for different things and different challenges in your life makes you a well-rounded person, right? Knowing who to talk to about what, who can offer you the best advice, right? I may not go to my single friends for the stuff I'm having going on in my married life.
There you go.
You know, I may not go to my friends who don't have kids for the stuff I have going on with my kids.
Absolutely.
You know, so it's important to make sure you're talking to the right people who can give you the right advice. And there's nothing against single people, nothing against people who don't have kids, but sometimes you just need that experience to teach you as well.
Right.
Yeah.
I love it. So let me ask you this question. Mental health. It's very important.
Yeah.
It is very, very, very important. And so many people struggle and you don't even know that they're struggling.
That's right.
I was one of those people. I'm not going to say that I was just, you know, there's levels to it.
Yeah.
So when life happens, that's what happened to me. Life actually happened. It came and knocked on my door and it stayed for a very long time. And I figured out I need to talk to somebody that's not going to talk to somebody. Because when you talk to people, they gonna take it, they gonna turn it, they gonna twist it, they gonna fix it to where it looks good coming from them.
Yeah.
And you know, my daddy used to say all the time, just as sure as they'll bring you a bone, they'll sure carry one, and they gonna add something to it. So they might pick up another bone or two along the way. No, he's from Ashdown, Arkansas.
Okay, all right, because that sounds like a down home.
Yeah. He has 40 acres in Ashdown, right behind Dumtar. That's where we're from.
Okay.
But he would tell me that all the time. You have to be very mindful. And I can honestly say I'm 42 and I just got it probably sometime last year, maybe earlier this year. You know, you try to confide in people and you can't confide in them because they're going to call somebody and tell somebody something. Then they're going to start fishing. And when they start fishing real good. They'll call you and you think you're talking to them, but you can feel that somebody else is around or they have you on speakerphone or they're texting trying to get information. And that can be mentally draining alone. You're already dealing with something. So why would you call and bring that? So I personally have a therapist and I'm excited to say that someday she may be on my show. We're working it out right now. Look, you all for it, huh? My engineer is all for it. She's great. That sister whips Monica Deanne into shape. Do you hear me? Little bitty tiny thing. So at one point I had two therapists and I'm not ashamed to say it because I needed to make sure that I was getting what I needed for me. At that point, I didn't care about nothing or no one else and what anybody else had to say. So one of my therapists is like a cool aunt that you got. You know, everybody's rich, ain't he? That's the way I pictured her. We would sit up, we would talk. I would tell her what I'm cooking. She'd be like, girl, I want you to know I fixed my husband some fried catfish and smothered potatoes and he tore it up. Thank you for telling me to put the onions and the bell peppers in there. And so we're talking about stuff like that. But then my other therapist, she ain't going. We straight focused. This is what we talking about. This is what, Monica, you wrong. You need to fix this. And I love it. So have you ever experienced anything like that?
As far as a person who can just shoot straight like that,
shoot straight and help you get through your mental, whatever it is. And just because we're talking mental health, that doesn't mean that you're diagnosed with anything.
Oh, no, not
everybody. But our community does not understand that. They think that there's something wrong with you if you're going to a therapist or a counselor. No, sometimes I just need to go talk to somebody because I'm carrying it. And now my shoulders are down or my head now, my head is never down. My chin may be tilted a little bit, but Monica's head is never down. Chin up, you know, chin up. So, have you ever experienced anything like that?
Oh, absolutely, Monica. I think for all people, right, it's important to have a confidant, right? Basically, what I hear you saying is having somebody you could actually talk to, and somebody who's going to be honest with you, right? And sometimes brutally honest, to tell you, no, you're wrong, and you need to correct this in your life. Absolutely. And so we all go through those things. And I think it's important for us to self-reflect and understand that we are not above criticism.
Absolutely.
Right? We're not above, someone correcting us and putting us on the right path. Right. And so it's absolutely important that not only we have those friends, but sometimes we got to take it a little bit further. Right. Sometimes it is a therapist. Sometimes it is somebody that we need to go to with a professional opinion who may not have any biases towards anything that we've told them or anything that we've experienced with them before,
right,
who can come as from a neutral position, right, and tell us, hey, here's what you need to do, or just to listen. Sometimes it's not even just about the advice. Sometimes you just have to unload.
Yes.
Sometimes it's just important for you to be able to talk. And when you hear yourself say things certain times, it's like, well, you know what? I do need to change that.
Right.
You know, when you hear yourself say it. So I absolutely understand and agree with you that we need those people in our lives, whether they're a professional therapist or a very close friend. Right. We got to have that opportunity to unload and talk, and also to listen and not be above somebody criticizing us and correcting us. Yes. For sure.
You know, she went all the way back to my childhood, and she started asking me questions that I was just rattling off the answer and didn't think anything was wrong. And she was like, no, like we need to talk about this. Like, you're feeling like this about this situation because this took place in your life and you're just now able to understand. So when we start putting all the pieces of the puzzle together, I was like, okay, okay, girl, you know your stuff, but she's good at what she do. Very good. She ain't finna play with you. And I like that, because that's what I needed. I'm one of those people, like, I'm like this, and so I need you to be like this with me. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to business or trying to get myself together. So let's talk about what trips you have planned for the summer, if you have any.
Yeah. So actually, so it's funny you asked that question. So for about 2 years, my son has been reluctant to get on an airplane. Right? So we've been to Hawaii. We've been to other places. I've taken him a lot of places, California, on airplanes, right? But for some strange reason, he just all of a sudden switched and like, Daddy, I don't want to get on airplanes. And I think I know what it was. He and his mom watched a 60 Minutes episode about the disappearing plane or something that happened like in Malaysia somewhere some years ago. He's like, I never want to get on an airplane again. And he literally went through this for a couple years. So everywhere we've been over the last couple years has been road trips, which can be exhausting.
Yes.
We drove to Colorado. We drove to Sarasota, Florida. I mean, I'm talking about all these places, but he came to me, thank God, he came to me about 2 weeks ago and said, Daddy, I think I'm ready to get on an airplane.
Oh, that's just so wonderful.
And so we are planning to go to New York this year.
Nice.
We're going to go this summer. He's really big into theater.
Good.
He loves Hamilton. I don't know if you've ever watched Hamilton. So Hamilton is a musical. That is about Alexander Hamilton.
Right.
When they signed the not the Declaration of Independence. Well, was it the Declaration of Independence? I think it was. Yes, when they signed the Declaration of Independence, right? And so there's a musical about that, and it actually incorporates hip hop music into the whole, thing that happened with the American Revolution, and America's independence from Britain, and all of that. So he has literally been absorbed into Hamilton. Now he's only in 5th grade, but he actually loves it.
Wow.
Right? So he wants to go to New York to see a Broadway play. So we're going to do that.
Okay.
So I'm also going to go back home to New Orleans to see my family as well. That's where I'm originally from.
Are you?
Yeah,
my son is there.
Yeah. Oh, what? He's at school, or
he's at Tulane.
Okay,
he's one of the grad assistant coaches at Tulane, and the car's already been flooded.
There you go. Yeah, that's how New Orleans is. It definitely.
I'm like, what?
That's what actually got me out of Louisiana. So let me just correct it, because people who are actually from New Orleans, they look at me sideways when I say this. So I'm from Kenner, Louisiana, which is just outside of New Orleans.
Okay.
Right? So if you fly into New Orleans, that's where the airport is.
Okay.
My wife is from New Orleans. Born and bred, 7th Ward, New Orleans. That's where she's from.
7th Ward.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. So
Love it.
With that being said, New Orleans is such a great place, but that's what actually got me out of there. So when Hurricane Katrina happened in 2005, that's when I had just got in the mortgage business in March of 2005. And then August of 2005 happened, and that's when Katrina came. Literally flushed the whole city out. My house where I lived had about 7 feet of water in it. Where my wife grew up, her house was completely submerged underwater. And so obviously there's no real estate industry at that point. There are no houses to sell. Nobody's buying, refinancing, anything. And so I ended up moving to Dallas because I had family here. My brother lived here. My dad had lived here as well. Nephews, all that stuff. So I ended up in Dallas. And let me tell you, Monica, I absolutely love Dallas. I love it.
Man.
I'm like a tourist in my own city sometimes. I go around, I go to Fort Worth, and I go to museums and all this other stuff. But to answer your question, yes, we have a couple trips planned this summer.
That is so good. I mean, it's been pitched a couple of times about moving to the DFW area, but I don't think this country girl ain't ready.
You could get a little country in DFW though. You can move to like north of McKinney.
You're right.
There's some areas where you can get out here.
His sister lives in Princeton, and I love it.
Now it's not going to be country for long. See, that's the thing. When I first moved to McKinney,
I'm like every time I come, it's a new subdivision.
There were cow pastures and all this other stuff where I live. None of that is there anymore. No. It's now houses and 7-Elevens and Walmarts and all this other stuff. But you can still get a little country feel here in DFW. And you could always keep you a house in Texarkana, right?
That's true.
I'm going to be on the recruiting team to get Monica Kelley. Y'all help me get Monica Kelley to DFW. Okay, let's do it.
I'm just not ready for it. And we have merged. And so we're talking about, and he's like, no, he's cool with Texarkana.
Okay.
So I'm like, well, let's stay in Texarkana and we can just go to DFW, as needed, in which he comes up and plays golf on Friday. So that's what he's doing now.
Okay.
So he does the whole golf thing on Friday. I'm networking and showing houses or open houses or whatever it is that I need to do. So it kind of works out for us. But what books are you reading?
Man, Monica. So I started reading, what is it called? Hold on. I just drew a blank, Monica.
That's okay.
Hold on. It's the Eric Thomas book. His latest book.
Oh, yes. Eric Thomas. It's funny you said that.
I can't remember the name of the book. But anyway.
He's going to look it up for us.
It's not You versus You. It's, yes, You Owe You. You Owe You. Yes.
Okay.
Great book about his life story.
Okay.
About I don't know if follow Eric Thomas.
I do.
But that's the latest book that I've started reading. And for me, Monica, I'll read like 2 chapters and I'll put the book down. I'll read 2 chapters and I'll put the book down again.
Yes.
But that is the latest book I've started reading. And his life story is just very inspiring.
Oh, man.
How he pretty much started from the bottom, not knowing who his father was. That's how the book kind of explains his life, living on the street, all these different things to being who he is now.
Right.
Very inspiring story. But that's the latest book that I've picked up. Yep.
It's funny that you brought him up because I am going to Atlanta, Georgia, and he's going to be there.
Oh, really?
Yes.
At a speaking event?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's all about podcasting. And I'm so excited about it. So I was on a call. His name was mentioned. I'm not going to call the guy's name because I don't want to get it wrong. There were 2 guys that I sat down and talked to, and there was thousands and thousands and thousands of people on there.
Yeah. But
they talked about how they started and how they were going down the road and they had a microphone that was sitting on basically their shoulder. And they started podcasting in the car like that. And so he went from that to here to now he's everywhere.
Yeah.
And so he still has the same people that helped him get started from the beginning. And I like that.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. You have to pay to be in rooms.
Yeah.
And that's why I tell people, be careful when you say, can I pick your brain? Because sometimes people spend thousands and thousands of dollars to gain the knowledge that they have.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I have one more question and then we'll talk a little bit about how they can contact you. And if you want to give a shout out to anybody.
Yeah.
Do you have a coach? And if you have a coach, do you feel like your coach is successful? And then the next question is, how many coaches do you have?
So here's the thing. I treat people and I tell people straight up, hey, you're my mentor. I'm going to make you my mentor. Right. I'm very ambitious when it comes to that. So one person in particular, Tanisha, right? We talk about Tanisha.
Oh, wow. She's that girl.
She's a firecracker.
Yeah.
Like when I tell you, she has really helped me to mold my career into what it is. She has introduced me to all the right people. She has helped me to just get a better understanding of how to approach business.
Right.
Shout out to Tanisha.
Yes,
absolutely.
Tanisha.
Yes. Major Singleton, which Major as well.
Yes,
so Major
great guy.
Definitely guides me in many different things when it comes to the mortgage industry as well.
Right.
So those 2 people, I would say, are my 2 go-tos. They don't brand themselves as coaches.
Right.
But when it comes down to coaching Lance, to getting Lance to where he wants to be and reaching the goals that I want to reach, those 2 folks are the top 2 for sure.
I love it.
Yes.
I love it because I feel like everyone needs a business coach.
Yes.
You need a life coach.
Okay. All right. So hold on. We talk about life coaches.
Okay.
Right? So there is another person I definitely have to give a shout out to.
Let's do it.
Okay, his name is Bavu Blakes. All right. So Bavu is an extraordinary person. He's a teacher of the year in Austin, Texas.
Oh, wow.
He actually teaches teachers as well. As part of what he does. He's in the educational system in Austin.
Okay.
But when it comes to life coaching, he always has this thing he tells me when we talk about business. he says, but are you preserving the union?
Oh, wow.
And so what he means by that is, how is all of this affecting my family?
Right.
The union that actually matters the most.
Absolutely.
Right? Are you preserving the union? And that's one thing, if you go, I'm a history buff, right? So this is something that Abraham Lincoln was known for saying, right? Preserve the union.
Right.
But he completely flipped that on its head. And he made me understand how that quote is applicable to life and to family, because we're very ambitious people, right? We're in the sales industry, we do real estate, we do mortgages, but how are those things helping you preserve the union?
I like it.
So you're going to be successful, Monica. Everything that you set your mind to, you're going to be successful. If you think about, hey, I want to sell 200 houses this year. Right. You're going to do it. Right. I want to buy a Bugatti, whatever. Right. You're going to do all those things. But are you preserving the union? Absolutely. Right? And so that's what it always comes down to. So shout out to Bavu Blakes. I like it. Very close friend of mine. I like it. And he is a life coach forever, for sure.
That is so awesome. Listen, dude, you killed it. I told you. Everybody's like, I got my list together for May and I sent it to Jesse and they're like, okay, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to say? Are you going to send me anything beforehand? I'm like, no. Jesse describes it as we're just two friends having a conversation. So sometimes I have specific questions that I want to ask. But for the most part, I'm just talking. Just talking to you. That's all it is to it. So 2 things. 1, tell everyone how to get in contact with you.
Yeah, so I'm on Facebook, right? That's my primary platform. Home Loans with Lance on Facebook. Home Loans with Lance on Instagram. That's where you can find me. Of course, I am a mortgage broker. So if anyone is considering purchasing a home, refinancing a home, and to all the real estate agents, right?
Yes.
Hit me up. Let's talk, right? Because I am one of the best at what I do. And I make sure to let you know that I'm available for your clients as well. So Facebook, Home Loans with Lance, Instagram, Home Loans with Lance. And I'll just give my phone number, Monica, because that's where you can reach me for sure.
Shoot it out.
972-998-3360. Again, that's 972-998-3360. Let's talk.
All right. Yeah. Is there anyone else you'd like to shout out today?
I'll shout out my wife. Yes. I'll shout out Courtney. All right. I want to shout out my kids.
I love
Kaden
it.
and Victoria. Look, and I got to say this because I'm a dad. I'm a doting dad. My daughter and my son are very intelligent people. My daughter just got inducted into the National Honor Society. She's also in the Mockingbird Poetry Society. She plays the viola. She has all A's all year in school. All A's all year. She's in the AVID program, which is college prep for middle school kids. Right. And my son just got put into the AVID program as well. I love it. He's in 5th grade, but his 6th grade year, he's going to be in AVID as well. For all of their accomplishments. So it just makes me so proud.
Y'all, look at this man. Smile. Courtney,
it's all about the kids, I'm telling you.
Is it Courtney, Caden, and Victoria? Wait.
Courtney, Caden, and Victoria. That's right.
Courtney, Caden, and Victoria.
Yes.
Y'all got a powerhouse. The man is in here looking all dapper. He got his bow tie on, and he loves you all. Yes. And I can tell because it just beams from him. Yeah, so absolutely. I like it. I like it. There is nothing more satisfying than to see families together and everyone is in love with each other. You're taking care of, you're doing all the dad things, you're doing all the husband things, and that can be very hard as a man because you've got the world sitting right here. Actually, it's sitting here. And I hear a lot of people say the world is on your shoulders. No, it starts at the top. So shout out to you.
Thank you.
I appreciate you coming in. I appreciate you sharing your story with the world. And this is a shameless plug. Listen, I need y'all to go to YouTube and subscribe because I can go live on YouTube when I get 1,000 people and I only have 8. So I need y'all to go out there and subscribe to my YouTube channel so that we can start pushing this out further and further and further. But you know what? Happy Friday to you, my brother.
Friday.
You look very handsome. You stepped up in this thing like I knew you would. I appreciate it. I wish you nothing but mad love and success for you and your family. Keep doing what you're doing and see you at the top.
See you at the top.
Man. All right. Have a good day. Bye, y'all.